Evan Ginzburg, back with another edition of Evan Ginzburg's Legends TV with my co-host Steve Ludwig, radio personality.
Radio personality, now retired educator Evan Ginzburg.
And retired educator Steve Ludwig.
Yes.
38 years teaching 8th grade history?
Language arts.
Language arts.
Language arts. English, grammar, all that stuff. But congratulations to you, because you're officially retired now from the New York Education Department. 28 years you put in.
That's
How does
right.
it feel? I know it feels like summer vacation
It
right
feels
now, right?
like summer vacation. I've just been cleaning, organizing, turning the apartment upside down. So basically I feel like I've thrown away 3 weeks of my summer vacation. It has not registered that in September I will not be returning back. It's been a very strange voyage all these years, walking in the entertainment world, the pro wrestling world. I was associate producer on The Wrestler and have acted as agents for various wrestling personalities, and education simultaneously. So now we're giving up one of these paths to focus entirely on entertainment with a little wrestling on the side.
Yeah, well, as I was told when I was retired, congratulations on adding 5 days to your weekend.
That's right. And I'm retired, not expired. So I just want to put this message out there. If you see many of our guests, they're not kids. Although we have guests of all ages, all genres, you're never too old to dream. You're never too old to accomplish something new. There are people that go into bodybuilding after they retire. There are people...
Obviously.
That's right, here.
Right, it's two examples right here.
Actually, I've been going to the gym.
Yeah.
But
makes one of us.
We've had writers who have had their first bestseller after they've retired. McCourt, he worked for the DOE. Frank McCourt is a good example. There are artists who made it late in their lives, filmmakers, etc., so on. It's never too late to dream, accomplish your goals. I bought my apartment in my late 40s. I got married for the first time at 50. I retired young at 55. So, your whole life is ahead of you. I know somebody who's 114. Ekayane's grandfather. He's a writer. One of our guests.
Oh, yeah.
He's 114. This guy is writing, jogging, doing yoga, healthy as a horse, and I believe his name is Bernard LaPalo, if I remember correctly. He was on my radio show a while back. 114, you can be active and vibrant. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, and when you say retire, we don't retire from life. We just retire from one aspect of our life to
That's right.
open up space for other things. Now, I mean, has it even sunk in yet?
No. As far as I'm concerned, I'm going back in September. I'm 3 weeks into summer vacation. I went to see George Clinton P-Funk yesterday, which I would do anyway. Hitting all the free concerts and doing what I do. And speaking of great events, tonight, Alpha Halverson, who's a regular on the show, he's doing a jam session down at Patty Quinn's, 4207 162nd Street in Flushing. Great venue. No cover, free food for you musicians out there and for music lovers. Open jam session, open mic, live blues set. No cover, free food, Patty Quinn's. You missed the birth of your mother and father. Don't you dare miss Alpha Halverson's jam session. Speaking of which, next Saturday, right here on Legends TV, Alpha is going to do what we do best. He's going to have a 45-minute jam session here with rappers, poets, poet John Winnell, musicians of all genres. Basically, it's going to flow seamlessly. What I did at my retirement party, the first and last time you will ever see this at a teacher's retirement party. We went from Latin jazz with Edwin Vasquez, the great Edwin Vasquez, to hip-hop with Cooley Eye and So Soon, to blues with Tommy Ma, Robert Ross, Vicki Grant. And what we're going to do is show a video clip 2 video clips, in fact, from the retirement party. So if it's a little dark and not up to our usual standards, understand. This is 2 video clips. We're going to show this back to back. We have Robert Ross with Vicki Grant, and we have the great Tommy Ma with Edwin Vasquez and Robert Ross. Check out these film clips, folks. You're going to enjoy this. From my retirement party.
They call the rising sun, and it's been the room of many a poor one. And God, I know I'm warm. Is when he's over drunk. Come on now, tell me what she's doing now. Come on. Smithy on the vocals there.
All right. And that last number was written by Robert Ross and Vicki Grant for yours truly, which is an honor. Robert Ross is a master blues artist in the New York Blues Hall of Fame, and he'll be at Lucille's Wednesday night, which is part of B.B. King's on 42nd Street in Times Square. Beautiful venue, $10 in advance, $12 at the door. So check out the great Robert Ross this Wednesday night at Lucille's. And we just briefly wanted to talk about education, having put in, I'm doing the math in my head, 64 years between us.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
The 38 for you, 28 for me.
66.
That's 66.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I taught English, not math.
Yeah, well, neither
that's
of us,
right.
Neither of us taught math, so don't worry about it.
So, the demonization of teachers in the media is so frustrating. So, my blood pressure skyrockets. What's your take on that?
Well, it's just what you said, the demonization. I mean, I'd love to know how many of those in the media actually stood in front of a classroom. I mean, and it's, I know this sounds like an easy way out of it, but you just don't know what it's like unless you've stood in front of these 25, 30, 35 individuals who all are coming from their 35 different worlds to sit in your classroom. Some of them have been making breakfast for their younger siblings, come from broken families, and now you have to make them focus on adjectives, verbs, nouns, things like this that they need. It's important, but it's an incredibly difficult job, and it's so emotionally draining. But I know you loved it, and I loved it, and I know with you it was a tough decision to retire.
It was very tough, and everybody that goes through it has that same difficult decision.
Absolutely.
And I found that many times the youngest students in 2015, they were very trained with the telephones and the video games and the music videos, etc. The attention span isn't quite there like in the old days.
No, I mean, it's like they call it the MTV generation, when MTV used to show videos. But yeah, it's quick, boom, 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 and there is a very short attention span.
So it's that much more to value the teachers instead of, oh, they're out at 3, oh, they're off during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I would challenge any journalist, any voicer, to try to spend 6.5 hours with 8th graders like you did. It is not easy.
Well, both of us. And you know, when you said, well, gee, teachers are off for the summer, it's not teachers' choices that were off for the summer. It's 10 months a year because the younger kids used to have to work on the farms during the warm season, during the summer months. And teachers only get paid on a 10-month basis. They can get paid over 12 months, but their checks are smaller if you choose that. So it's not like, oh, well, you know, we have off the summer because we want it. It's not a bad thing to do. But, you know, how many other people can afford to go for 2 months off without pay? You know what I mean? It's, oh, you're off for the summer, but it's not a paid vacation. We only get paid over 10 months.
And I was making a joke before about the math, by the way. When I did teach math, what I did was try to instill financial literacy, you know, how to save money, how to invest, life skills, which is very important.
Mm-hmm.
My math is bad when I don't sleep enough, like this morning.
Well,
but
you can catch up now that you're retired.
that's right. I'm gonna like knock out a week, just like stay in bed until the next show next Saturday.
And yeah, and you know, I don't want it to sound like in no way am I complaining about being a teacher, because I can't think of any other profession that I would have chosen. Because, I mean, the kids are, well, for me, the kids, they're eighth graders, but they were never the problem, you know. But it's just, I guess I'm 61 now, and I guess all the bureaucracy that went around, it just got to me. Education is so much different now than when I first started.
In all fairness, I had wonderful principals that I had a deep love and respect for, and there were others that I could not quite say that. I'm being political here. There were people that were very supportive and kind and understanding. What people have to understand about teachers is you're going into a classroom, you have your own personal issues, you might have health problems, people may be going through a divorce, there could be a death in the family, death of a friend. I've walked into schools the next morning after a family member or friend died, and you had to perform. You had to perform, and people do not grasp this.
It's a good word, perform. Yeah. You are on a stage.
Yeah, a good teacher, whether people realize it or not, it's performance art, it's counseling with kids, it's motivational speaking. It's not just teaching. And besides the secretarial and you're doing all the bookkeeping, there's many different levels to all of this. The record keeping is a job in and of itself.
Yeah, it's not 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, as the media would make one think.
So anyway, that's our defense of our colleagues and the profession. And it's a noble profession, and if people think otherwise, what's the old expression? They know not from whence they speak.
Yes.
There you go.
Well, you know, media, they demonize teachers, but look at the way the media just in general can control people's minds.
Well, it's an anti-union mentality in 2015 also. So the teachers' union is quite strong.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to be honest. You know, I've seen great teachers, good teachers, mediocre teachers, and you know, guys that phoned it in also.
We can say that in any walk of life.
Yeah, any walk of life, but I would say the vast amount of teachers, you know, deeply, deeply cared. I would say the majority. And to cap it off, for much of my career, especially in adult education, we got paid very, very little money. We only gained parity, you know, within the past 10 years. So we did it because we loved it. It was not about the money whatsoever. So that's, and when somebody says something like, oh, those Wisconsin school teachers, their pensions are what's destroying the country, they're just idiots. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous. Come on. They're making maybe 40, 50 grand. Their pensions are destroying the country. Not the banks, not Wall Street. Come on.
And money is being taken out of your checks to go into your pension as well.
Yeah, it's not like you're just stealing the money.
And you know, for all of us who work a job and we work 5 days a week, we have lunch breaks and sick days, that's because of unions, by the way.
That's right.
None of that would be...
You don't have kids working in coal mines anymore. That's right. So anyway, folks, I'm retired, not expired. Legends TV and much, much more. So we're going to take a brief time out. We're going to take a brief time out, and when we come back, more with Evan and Steve. Later in the show, we have folk singer Fred Hintz, and we have drag king Cara Garofalo. Don't you dare go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
So this little old lady, she comes over to me and she goes, "You're never going to be successful unless you follow Jesus." I said, "I would follow Jesus, but I can't walk on water." "Am I successful? You mean mounted to a cross? Because he nailed it." "Why aren't any of you laughing?"
Because we're watching MadHousetv.com.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our 2 offices. Thank you.
All right, we are back with Legends TV. Honored to have the owner of Madhouse TV, Tom Mealy. And Tom has a very exciting announcement. We're always expanding here, and you have a huge superstar worldwide. What are you doing with Donnie Most from Happy Days?
Well, thanks first of all for letting me invade your show
Not
here
at all.
today.
You're doing the Bob Hope deal, like on the Tonight Show.
I feel like
Yeah.
that. I'm sitting next to 2 icons here. But anyway, yeah, we do. You know, Donnie's been here a couple of times. And for those of you who don't know Donnie Most, from Happy Days, Ralph Mouth, you know, I Still Got It. He's been here a couple of times. And we're actually fortunate enough, which was just mentioned on Fox, by the way, Madhouse TV will be the first broadcasting internet studio to ever stream a live concert worldwide.
That's exciting.
And it's really, really cool. And I want to, say first thanks to, Mad Mac Production, which is Donnie Most, and Willie Scapitone, and all the people, and of course Donnie. But here's the deal. Can I get that piece of paper? Because
Sure.
I'm not sure if I can remember half of this stuff that I have to do. But we have, folks, 2 VIP tickets to Donnie's concert, which is going to be held in Port Jefferson at Theater 3 on July 25th. And we have also an email address, which is madhousetv@aol.com. Now, to make this fair, what we're going to do is the very first person who can email us the answers to these 2 questions at madhousetv@aol.com get these 2 VIP tickets. And on the website, just put your phone number and how we can reach you. So here we go. The first question is the character's name to be the very first individual to ride on the back of Fonzie's motorcycle. Now I need the character name, not the actual name. That's question 1. Question 2. What was Donnie's favorite saying in the show Happy Days as Ralph Mouth? And does anybody know where he got the saying from? It was one of the producers of the show. There's only 2 producers, so you have to tell me which one it is. Give me the answer to those questions. We've got 2 tickets right now, madhousetv@aol.com, and you'll get to go backstage and meet him and take some pictures.
Wow. And I just want to say that the kind of music Donnie's doing is Sinatra, Bobby Darin,
Yes.
classic big band type stuff.
Yeah.
I love Bobby Darin. Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's great. You know, it's funny that Donnie actually was singing before he was acting. A lot of people don't know this. In fact, one of the directors, I'm not going to say his name because he's the answer to question 2, when they were on the set, Donnie had gone up to him and said, listen, I'd like to sing. And they said, well, we're going to have Hanson William sing. But Donnie was a professional singer at the time. He used to sing up in the Catskills and all over the place before he was casted for the show. And they actually gave the part to Hanson Williams. And there was a joke between the two of them that, he'll tell you at the concert what that joke was and how they got around that. But yeah, he's a remarkable singer. He's a jazz singer. He does a lot of jazz, a lot of Darren, a lot of Sinatra. He's going to be doing his favorite Mac the Knife.
Bobby Darin was amazing. He died at 37, I believe.
Amazing.
The charisma off the charts. So tell the viewers how they can actually purchase the streaming live version of the concert.
Okay, if you go to our website, which is madhousetv.com, there's a picture of Donnie. You just click that picture. That'll take you to the site. Now, for all you people that can't make it out to Theater 3, listen, it's for $4. Where are you going to go for $4 and watch a concert like this?
Wow.
$4.
In the comfort of your living room.
In your living room. On the train. You know what? If you're on your boat that day, next Saturday night, you're in the middle of the Great South Bay or the South China Sea. I don't care where you are. Get onto your phone. Go to madhousetv.com. Click on the link, and for $4, you can sit there and enjoy the concert. And you know what a lot of people are doing? They're going to places like Best Buy, and they're getting these speakers, which are Bluetooth now. And I've noticed a lot of this. They're actually in their backyard with these Bluetooth speakers, and all they do is they take their phone, the Bluetooth connects, and they've got this huge speaker, which is broadcasting some of the music from their iPhone and their tablets. It's crazy. The technology is there.
So date and time and website one more time?
July 25th, we're going to be doing a pre-show. Tommy and I, my partners here at Madhouse, we're going to be doing a pre-show behind the scenes starting at 7:30, July 25th. And then the concert starts promptly at 8 o'clock. It's about a 90-minute show. So you get to see all of that, July 25th. And again, it's madhousetv.com. And to answer the question and get 2 backstage passes is at madhousetv@aol.com. Send me the answers to those questions, get the tickets.
If you love Donnie most, if you love Happy Days, if you love Big Band, Sinatra, Darren, it's going to be great.
And he's going to be telling stories that nobody's heard before. Stories behind the scenes, how, what they did and the type of family environment this was for them. You got to remember, they were young. They were in their 20s.
That's right.
Early 20s, 19, 20, and 21.
So this is next Saturday night.
Next Saturday night.
In the comfort of your home, $4. You can watch Donnie most. Great show, great memories, great nostalgia. Thank you so much, Tom.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with more Legends TV right after this timeout.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Back with Legends TV, and as two retirees, we've been watching a lot of sports, and as everybody knows, I'm a huge boxing and wrestling fan, as is Steve.
Yeah,
more wrestling.
Yeah, you're gonna have plenty of time now to, if you have to stay up late. But the last championship fight, I mean, we were so disappointed.
Yeah, I want to apologize to my viewers. I kind of hyped the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight a little too hard, and I was saying that I expected more from Manny, and that Manny, you know, would not go down without giving his all, and the fight itself was a disaster. So what I've done is I've scoured the internet to try to find the best action for you. In fact,
you know what's great, Evan? Now that you have the time to do this, I know you're very particular, and I know you do scour the internet. So
that's right.
Whatever you're going to show us now has got to be the creme de la creme.
I went through thousands upon thousands of boxing, wrestling, MMA videos to make up for the Pacquiao-Mayweather fiasco, to find the most brutal, violent footage. I'm hoping, you know, Tom was just sitting here, the owner of the station. I'm hoping we're not censored and reprimanded for this, because this is rough.
This could be our last show. This could be our last show.
It could be our last show.
You don't know.
So we're gonna go to the video, and it's very self-explanatory. So we're gonna just let this brutal action speak for itself.
Kids beware.
Kids beware. Boxing, wrestling, MMA fans, you're gonna love this. Check it out. All right. Wow, that was brutal. Luigi the bunny in all his fury, in all his furry fury. That's right.
It was a furious
furry fury
of the furry.
That's right.
Fury.
That's right.
Luigi the bunny.
That's right. Brutality, folks.
Hours and hours.
I scoured the net to find that for you. So Luigi the bunny on Facebook. And I just want to say that Luigi has more friends on Facebook than Steve Ludwig, so what can you say?
Yeah, well, so is my grandmother, and she's been dead for 30 years, so.
Anyway, folks, Luigi the bunny, Johnny Vidster, or Johnny Video, in both his names. Johnny Video does some great radio as well. We thank him for that clip.
Smartasses Radio is Johnny Video.
That's right, yeah. Smartasses Radio, where he has beautiful women, because beautiful women, radio is the perfect medium for beautiful women, right?
Yeah.
Johnny figured that out.
Yeah, well, Johnny's got a face for radio, as do I.
That's right. So, do you remember the URL for Smartasses Radio? Because
I know if you Google Smartasses Radio, you'll find it. Just Google Smartasses Radio, face for radio, I think is...
Okay. And speaking of wrestling, I want to show a clip from my documentary, Wrestling Then and Now. And we also have a clip from Steve's radio. Plug your radio real quick.
PlanetLudwig.com. I have two shows. The Beatles Hour with Steve Ludwig, and it's recorded right here at Madhouse Studios. 9 a.m. Sundays is the new show, and then it's archived on PlanetLudwig.com, and also Steve Ludwig's Classic Pop Culture at PlanetLudwig.com. It's a lot of fun, a lot of good things to do on the website.
There you go.
Thank you.
And I'm going to be appearing on a sports talk show, Main Event Madness, where we talk wrestling, boxing, MMA, basketball, baseball, true sports talk. And this is going to be Thursday night. So what we're going to do is show these very, very brief promos, cut to a commercial, and when we come back, we have folk singer Fred Hintz. So let's go to the promos, folks. Enjoy.
From the associate producer of The Wrestler, Evan Ginzburg, comes Wrestling Then and Now.
What? I think you look better with a mask on!
Learn the super secret backstage moves of professional wrestlers.
You know, he knows all those moves and can do everything, right? But
innovative ways of dealing with sexual harassment.
But I actually did make contact on his nuts, and it did hurt.
Ask yourself, what the hell is wrong with these people? Watch Saturday morning cartoons with Nikolai Volkov. What are you doing here, Nikolai?
Yeah, save the child. That's the best one too.
Amazing likeness there.
Good looking guy.
Hear the wisdom of killer Walter Kowalski.
The think you become, the feel you become, what you say you become. Never ever be derogatory about yourself. If you're down, take the upper stand. I am Superman. I am the greatest. I am perfect.
It's a time capsule of a film. Wrestling Then and Now. Streaming to your computer, to your phone, to your TV. Download now. From the associate producer of The Wrestler.
Want wrestling? Want sports? Want them all in one place? Well, you got it! Main Event Madness Radio has just what you're looking for, with news, rumors, interviews, and more from all the major sports leagues including WWE, UFC, MLB, NFL, NBA, and more. Visit MainEventMadness.com today and check out the latest news as well as some of the most entertaining columns around. Main Event Madness Radio. Our wrestling, your sports, simply mad.
We are back with Legends TV. And this gentleman, Fred Hintz, folk singer, we met down at Gizzy's,
Yes.
which was 16 West 8th in the heart of legendary Greenwich Village, where the folk scene really happened with Dylan and all the greats. Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I first got involved in sort of the Greenwich Village music. Growing up, I was kind of a music groupie, even though I was in the Glee Club and I sang at shows, and I always felt that was kind of beyond me, you know. And when I was in 9th grade, I got initiated into Transcendental Meditation, and I had to go down. Their headquarters was on Leroy Street, so that was my first exposure to Greenwich Village. Years after that, through the 60s and 70s, I spent a lot of time in the village watching people like Steve Goodman, Tom Paxton, Dave Van Ronk, Elliot Murphy, Scott Kempner, Harry Chapin, Bob Dylan, the list goes on. And I felt very, Peter, Paul, and Mary. And I felt that somehow, at some point, I'm going to get a little more involved. So in the early 80s, I started taking some guitar lessons from actually a jazz player who taught me lefty.
Okay.
I had taken a few lessons right-handed when I was a kid over at Sid Margolis in Brooklyn. I don't know if you remember that, but that was like the only game in town. And you had this big bulky guitar and trying to play right-handed. I could never do it. So I kind of sort of used some of these people, particularly Tom Paxton, as a mentor, and Harry Chapin, and tried to duplicate their style a little bit. And I started coming up with songs and writing a couple of my own songs. And by the early 90s, I was ready to play somewhere. So I said to my wife, if I can get 20 songs together, I can play. Let me get 20 songs. So I said, okay. So I started going through the whole Tom Paxton catalog, and I was playing, and I said, wow. And then 20 songs turned into 40, and then 400.
Wow.
And then
400?
Well, you know, and I started just accumulating so many songs. And in the meantime, I always had day jobs. And so I said, okay. And then the other half of me was sort of a lot of the New York music, too, from CBGB's. Johnny Thunders was...
Wow, those are extremes.
Right, Johnny
The Ramones.
Thunders, the Ramones, Elliot Murphy,
Blondie.
the New York Dolls, Nick Cave, Tom Verlaine, Patti Smith.
Wow.
People I used to see. So I kind of... My act now is pretty much kind of a half and half. I do a lot of the older folk stuff, and I do what I call the New York music. So I try to play at any given show. I do probably about 60 songs. I do 2 30-song sets. You never hear the same thing twice on rare occasion.
Very impressive.
And I'll try to expose people to different music. And
we're going to hear a live set from you later today, right here.
We're going to see where we go from there. You know, again, I try to get people's heads shaking, going, wow, did you write that? No, Lou Reed wrote that in 1966.
Yeah.
Really? Or some early Leonard Cohen, things like that. And I do a snippet of some contemporary things.
So I have a big question. Since I'm a little younger and I was not there for the 60s folk scene, I'm more a 70s R&B guy. But anyway, when you were at these venues, seeing these giants that you mentioned, did you get a sense of just how important it was that these people could get on a stage, sing a song, and change the world? Did you know what you were witnessing?
I was pretty politically active in those days, and if you've seen particularly Peter, Paul, and Mary, they're very political, sometimes a little over the edge. It's like, can you play some music, please? You know, get on with it. You know, no, it was such an informal atmosphere. You know, you'd walk in and, you know, Tom Paxton would be sitting there, you'd be sitting here, you'd be in, you know, the bitter end just wandering in. Sometimes the shows were late at night.
Right.
There wasn't a lot of people there. You know, and...
When you saw Dylan, was he Dylan or was he unknown at the time?
I didn't see him till later on.
Oh, okay.
I saw him a couple times later on.
Right.
I did not see him early in the game.
You know, you mentioned you do some obscure songs too. You mentioned Steve Goodman.
Right.
Favorite song of mine by Steve Goodman is Yellow Coat.
Sure.
That's one of his.
In fact, should I do that later?
No. Next time.
Yeah. Well,
really
Steve Goodman played in my dorm when I was in college. And I'll tell you just a quick story. He didn't write it, but he does a song called The Dutchman, which was written by, I believe his name is Alfred Smith, I'm not sure. But at any rate, I've been playing that song for years, and I always play it. And I played it at a bar one day, and there were people listening, and a fella came up to me later on, and he handed me a $20 tip after I played that song, and I said, "That's $20." He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, thanks an awful lot." He goes, "I never thought I'd ever hear anybody play that song again."
Wow.
That song means a lot to me. And I said, wow.
I love Richie Havens. Richie Havens was a tremendous performer.
I never saw him. He's played out east in recent years. I regret that I haven't seen him.
He passed. Richie Havens passed.
He used to play at least once a year out at the Stevens Talk House. I never got a chance to see him.
Tremendous live performer by any standards. Yeah.
The story I had read was at Woodstock. They asked him to play 20 minutes, and it turned into 2. He played everything he ever knew.
I heard the opening act hadn't gotten there, and that's why they
he just
him
kept
out
playing.
there.
Yeah. You know, but I'm trying to, you know, I wouldn't, tribute bands are big now, and I often thought of, yeah, maybe I'll do a Tom Paxton tribute or a Bob Dylan tribute, but most of my act is a lot of different tributes to different people, to music that they're not around anymore, or too old to play. You know, so I'm playing the music.
Do you do Jimmy Newman? Is that the
Wake Up Jimmy Newman?
You do that song?
Not in a lot of years, but I'll always do 2
it.
or 3 of his songs.
And that's my favorite Tom Paxton song. That and Crazy John too.
And Crazy John for John Lennon.
Speaking of tributes, I was watching Inside Llewyn Davis by the Coen Brothers, and tremendous film. Not quite as good as Whiplash, which is another great film about music, but a tremendous film. And I found it interesting that instead of glamorizing the scene, it was pretty grim. What was your take on it?
Yeah, it was pretty dark. I mean, it was a little kind of a little out of whack with the humor too. It's kind of, you know, the Coen Brothers, they did "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou," which was a little quirky. Right. You know, the movie, it kind of takes different turns, and the reviews I read were, you're going to watch it once, then when you watch it again, you're going to feel something different. You know, and then when if you watch it again, you'll feel something else. I mean,
excellent film, but this guy couldn't catch a break, and he wasn't the most likable guy either. It was interesting. It in no way, shape, or form glamorized what many people have glamorized. I've heard so many people, you know, back in my day, I'd go down to the village, and it was such a blast, and you know, this was not that movie.
Right. Right. I think it could have been a little lighter.
Yeah.
You know, it could have been a little lighter. We were talking earlier, and I thought it was interesting that they sort of, I want to use the word parody, but there were characters in the movie that like Tom Paxton was in the movie. Not as Tom Paxton.
Oh, okay.
He was somebody else, a Marine that came back. Peter, Paul, and Mary were in the movie, but not as Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Right.
Right. Bob Dylan was in the movie, but he's not mentioned as Bob. But he's not mentioned as Bob Dylan. But you know it's him. The Clancy brothers were the guys in the sweaters, and you know, so you know, hey, that's the Clancy brothers, but not in the movie.
Interesting.
You know, but that movie brought back a lot of memories to me.
But well worth seeing.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and not only for the.
And it's floating around on cable right now. So.
I've seen it a couple of times on cable recently. It's really give you a lot of.
Steve, you're a folk guy? I know you're more a rock guy.
Yeah, my older brother, older by like 19 months, he was into a lot, all Tom Paxton, Steve Goodman. So I wasn't really as into it as my brother was, but I was always exposed to it because of my brother playing the albums at home. Yep.
You don't hear a lot of it. Like I said, I try to play, and this is a problem when you try to get booked, you know, because I'll sit down and I auditioned recently for a fella and his wife, and I played 4 or 5 songs and an original song, and they said, wow, those are really good songs, but we got a problem. We never heard of these songs. I said, now you're getting it. You're getting it. Well, I don't know if it's going to work, you know. We have people coming in and they play, you know, basically what people want to hear, and you know, my kind of mission is sort of get the people who listen. Who did that? Who did that? And I don't mind giving people credit. I don't try to pose as it's me. You know, this is just music that you're not going to hear anywhere.
Yeah,
you're just not. You may hear it on FUV. You may hear it on the Stony Brook station. You may hear it on the NYU radio station. You know, I've done, Willie DeVille is another hero of mine from the band Mink DeVille. Again, I kind of cross over from folk into, I don't want to say punk, but kind of like...
I'm more into funk. Larry Graham, George Clinton.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, you grew up,
No.
we probably didn't grow up, I grew up on East 46th Street between L and M.
I grew up 245 Lennox between Nostrand and Rogers.
All right, you were
East
up
Flatbush.
further, but I played...
Read my book, Apartment 4B Like in Brooklyn,
Right,
which I don't have
for
with
it.
me today.
I was hoping to
North
get
Bergen,
it.
New Jersey, over here.
There you go.
You know, and I remember I grew up right near the two theaters, the Marine Theater and the Brook Theater. They were both next to each other. And I remember, I think I was 9 years old to see Hard Day's Night.
There you go. He's the Beatles guy. He does a Beatles radio show.
Right, so I remember that. It's like all these girls screaming. I can't take it.
At a movie, not even in a live performance, yeah.
You know, and there was music floating around. You know, I spent a lot of time, most of my life. My friends live right by Brooklyn College, you know, and I think there may be a day that I move back there.
There you go.
I think that may happen.
Brooklyn's one of the cultural centers of the universe right now.
There was a bunch of places. Do you remember Ben Mastic's?
No.
Down at the end of Flatbush Avenue was like a nightclub. You know, my mother used to see like Bob Hope there. And,
Wow.
You know, right at off the Bell Parkway. And then we had a club over on Avenue S. I forget the name of it. I used to see David Johansen used to be there.
I love David Johansen.
In New York Dolls.
I loved even his Buster Poindexter act. That was great too.
We've seen him too.
Yeah.
I followed him. He's another guy.
Great performer. Very charismatic.
Another person I could do a tribute act to him and all his different incarceration.
That,
you know, but
I saw David Johansen with Blondie in an arena back in the day. That was a great show. Yeah.
We've seen him in different incarnations of him.
Yeah.
You know, from him to Buster to the Blues, and we'll be seeing him in a month or two out at the Stevens Talk House.
I saw David Johansen open for the Suite. Remember
The Suite?
Little
Wow.
Willie and
Wow, that's an odd combination.
and he opened for them, and he blew them away. Really, I mean, I would have rather seen David Johansen as the headliner.
Fred, any career highlights you'd like to share with us?
Career highlights. Well, I got a break earlier in the year. I got a little mention in the New York Times.
That's nice.
In the Saturday, Sunday
Doesn't
Times.
get much bigger than that.
Well, the weird thing is, when I booked this, it was at a bookstore that has a cafe, and the booking fellow sent me an email. He said, "Please be there. The New York Times is covering this event." I said, "Event? You know, there's going to be 30 people there, whatever." And I thought, because the act playing with me was a 9-year-old guitar player, so I'm thinking, all right, they're coming to see him. You know, I said, but actually, they did a story on bookstores and music. So I got a nice picture. I got a nice, a nice mention in there.
Excellent.
You know, so that was earlier this year. I'm working kind of backwards. I'm going to be peaking by the time I'm 70.
Yeah.
You know, I'm working backwards in the music. I played so many places, and you know, in front of a lot of folks, and playing in the city was definitely playing at places like Gizzy's was
I booked
terrific.
Gizzy's several days a week,
Was
as
terrific.
did our mutual friend Michael McHugh.
Right.
What a great experience, and there's not a lot of places like that. It was a
No.
real arts center where you had poets and folk singers and rappers and filmmakers. We
Yeah.
need more of that. More of that.
Yeah, I was scouring the village last month, and I found this little cafe on Bleecker Street, and a Russian lady owns it. I said, okay, here's my in, because I'm half Russian. I can bond with her.
My grandfather was Russian.
Right. So she kind of interviewed me, and she says, okay, you play any flamenco guitar? And I actually probably should have said yes, but I said no. She says, we're kind of looking for flamenco artists to round out what we have.
Right.
But I own another cafe in Brooklyn in Sheepshead Bay, so I'm going to be in touch with them. But I thought maybe that'd be a good opportunity. But, you know, when you have a day job, and you guys know this, there's a lot of what we call grunt work involved. And, you know, people aren't going to book me because, hey, I'm Fred Hintz. You know, oh, you're Fred Hintz, we're booking you. You know, I have to go out there, and I have to really, you know, try to impress people. Look, people will come down, people will listen. I'm not looking to get rich. You know, I have a day job. You know, I'm just trying to keep the music alive and get an opportunity to play in a safe environment. Obviously, You know, which is why the cafe, the coffee house scene, there used to be so many to play out by me. Rudy's Coffee House in Madhousetv, Cool Beans in St. James. These were places where people played. People came and listened, you know. I played at Starbucks a few years ago. It was just a nightmare.
How was the coffee? Oh, no, kidding.
Not good. But it was like, I got to get into Starbucks, and I get there, and it's a huge Starbucks. And between all the blenders and mixers and people talking, it was just like, is anybody here to listen?
Yeah.
And the answer was no.
Speaking of listening, tell us how we could find you on the internet, any social media.
Well, I'm kind of in a state of flux right now because I'm starting a new Facebook page and most likely a website. But the best thing to do for now, for the next month or two, would be shoot me an email at retrofredo, RETROFREDO, @optonline.com.
Okay.
And I'll, excuse me, I'll send you a itinerary.
There you go.
Of where we're at and what we're doing.
And Fred Hintz will be performing a live set later in the show, so we're looking forward to that.
And it'll be a surprise. We'll see.
That's
We'll
right.
see what
you don't know
happens.
what you're doing, and we don't know what you're going to do. And it's live TV, no less.
That's right. So that's the beauty of live TV, and I really appreciate the time.
Thank you. And I appreciate, Fred gave me these books for my retirement. Wrestling at the Chase, St. Louis, Bruiser Brody on the cover, and Sam Muchnick, the great Sam Muchnick. My buddy Mike Lano did a tribute to Sam Muchnick in St. Louis, and I was there for it. It was tremendous, absolutely tremendous. Yeah. The other book's a WWE book. They don't need free commercials. So anyway, when we come back, Drag King Cara Garofalo. Don't you dare go anywhere.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with a computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels it's hard. Aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this, you'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue Tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
Hi, I'm Tatiana, and I'm a person in long-term recovery from heroin addiction. It was really, really hard, waking up in the morning, not knowing what to do, needing my next bag. I was so lost, but I'm here today to tell you that there is a solution. When I was in my active addiction, I didn't realize that there was another way of life. I thought that that was the only way, because it felt so good to get high, but it was all an illusion, and I didn't realize that. But today, being 4 years clean and sober, my life is absolutely amazing. I'm able to travel, I don't need a drink, I don't need a drug. I'm just happy being with myself. I couldn't understand for many years why. Why was I doing this? It's because I was an addict, but I didn't know it. Today, many kids are becoming addicted to drugs and alcohol, but they don't know exactly what they're getting into until they're out of it. And it's our job, it's my job, to stand for these kids, stand for their recovery, and fight for their addiction. So I'm the president of Onward Forever, and I provide recovery services and support. And we're here to help. We're here to just listen. Anything that we can do to help. If you need me, this is how you get a hold of me. Please call 347-244-1550. 347-244-1550. I developed this company to help you, our families, and our community to fight this crisis on Long Island and in our nation. Thank you.
All right, we are back, joined by Carol Garofalo, returning to the show, Drag King, aka the sharp-dressed man. You have a shirt that Tom Mealy also owns. Tell us about the outfit.
Actually, I'm gonna be doing a song that I've never done before, and I figured with this particular song I had to dress appropriately. So there aren't that many stores in, you know, Midtown Manhattan that sell shirts like this, so I'm going on.
We should have had you on the July 4th show.
I know.
Yeah, we just missed it. Yeah.
I know.
And you could have waved, good flag waving.
Right.
Okay, never mind.
Exactly. So I'm going on eBay and I'm like, damn, I'm looking for a shirt. And I'm like, oh, $10. Okay, click.
There you go. There you go.
And it came in just in time for your show.
We're flattered that you went all out with the expense for the budget for today's show. Thanks, Carol. Yeah, I'm joking.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
well, I don't know how much this shirt would really cost, but you know what? It suits me just fine.
There you go. And you're going to perform live for us in just a bit. But before that, update us what's been going on since the last time you were on the show.
Well, actually, I've been competing more. I actually did win a monthly competition. I won, thank you, I won Look Queen, which is held at Manhattan Monster Bar on 80 Grove Street in the Village. I won for the month of March. I won $100.
Wow.
And
It's
I
10
also,
shirts worth.
That's right. You could have had a whole wardrobe for that.
Exactly. And I was able to compete with other monthly winners, and we had one big pageant. Unfortunately, I didn't make it to the top 4, but I did have a good showing. I'm very proud of the package that I put together. The pageant is divided into 3 categories. There's presentation, which is the first opportunity for the audience to see you. And in this particular instance, the theme was cartoon character. So I'm thinking in my mind, what cartoon character could I possibly do? And there were some of my friends saying, oh, you could do Cartman from South Park, or Homer Simpson, or Peter Griffin from Family Guy.
Right.
And I settled on Fred Flintstone.
Okay.
Because he's an icon. No matter what generation you're from, you know who Fred Flintstone is. And he has such a distinct look that the judges aren't going to be sitting there scratching their heads wondering, what is this one doing? Who are you supposed to be? Such an iconic, distinct look, I figured, hey, why not? And I was so dedicated to the character that I actually walked. The Monster Bar has 2 floors. The top floor has a piano bar setting, and the downstairs is where they have the DJ booth and the stage and the dance floor. I walked through both floors of that bar barefoot.
Wow.
Barefoot.
Dedicated to Fred Flintstone.
Barefoot.
Carol is dedicated to Fred.
I was dedicated
That's
to
right.
the character. I was dedicated to the look. I walked through, and thank goodness.
I can imagine how you drove there. No. I can't.
Yeah. With the brakes. I like Fred's brakes on the car.
It was like, thank goodness no one, dropped their drink on the floor or dropped their glass on the floor. Right. And no, seriously, that was one of my concerns, was that they were going to, have little accents like, whoops, and I'm like,
So, Carol, we generally touch on the fact that as a drag king, you may not always get the same support in that community. Why is that?
There aren't that many of us. And it's because I'm a biological woman who dresses as a man. It's kind of like if a biological woman breaks into baseball or a biological woman breaks into the NHL. A woman breaking into a predominantly male field. Drag is still dominated by men.
Do you think with Caitlyn Jenner, doors will open, people will be more open to... This is an art form just like a queen, I don't see why there's any difference. We support you here.
Of course. I mean, what I do, it's not any different than what a drag queen does. I mean, I work on my look, I work on my lip sync, I do makeup. That Fred Flintstone outfit I hand sewed. Wow. It did not come out of the Facebook pictures. If you go to my Facebook page, you see my Fred Flintstone look. That outfit was hand sewn by me.
That's right.
So what I do...
You're the Betsy Ross of drag kings. That's right.
There is really no difference from what I do than when Katrina Lovelace was here with me the last time. There is no difference. I work on my look, I work on my act, my hair, my makeup. I do a full transformation. You guys know what I look like as Carol, as a woman.
Absolutely.
Part of the art is the transformation, and I take great care and great pride in my transformation because...
And you're going to dress all day in this, which you have a gig tonight. Plug the gig.
Actually, I do. I will be making my Fire Island debut. It'll be the first time ever that I will be performing in Fire Island tonight at 11 o'clock at the Island Breeze.
She's performing 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. This may never have happened in history.
Yeah, this is...
Yeah, tonight may never happen again.
Right.
Exactly. It's it's going to be in Fire Island at the Island Breeze tonight at 11 o'clock. I will be the guest of the one and only Kendra Kinks. The Island Breeze is near the Sayreville, the dock when the boats come in. Actually, you can go to my Facebook page under either Carol Garofalo or the Gary Carmichael fan page, which I have, and also I finally got an Instagram account under Gary Carmichael Drag King, and you will see the flyer for tonight's show at 11 o'clock at the Island Breeze in Fire Island, and I hope you all can take the time to come out and enjoy a great show.
There you go. And speaking of great shows, we're going to take a brief time out. When we come back, Carol Garofalo live and Fred Hintz live. We're going to take it to the stage. Don't you dare go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Galaxy Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. Concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin.
I think this is a good time to tell you. You're doing okay, Mom. I can call you Mom, right? I know we haven't known each other very long, but you seem like a real keeper. You're not perfect. There was that strained carrots incident, but you're trying. You pick up my bottle every time I toss it out of my stroller. That's high comedy to an 8-month-old. You hum the Barber of Seville when you wash my hair. So cool. And your rub-downs are out of this world. Anyway, I want you to know how much I appreciate you. You know, right? How much I love you? You're doing okay, Mom.
Time to make the donuts. Dunkin' Donuts are always fresh. I made the donuts. We make them at least twice every day. Time to make the donuts. Not a few kinds, like supermarket. Made the donuts. Time to make the donuts. But up to 52 varieties. The donuts. Time to make the donuts. I made the donuts. Dunkin' Donuts, up to 52 varieties, fresh day and night. No supermarket can say.
Guys, ready for the show?
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Hi, I'm Fred Hintz from Brooklyn. It's nice to see you guys. And we had some requests tonight. We'll see what we're going to do. All right? Let's start off. This is for Bruce Pascoe and Mary Travers. It's called New Generation. Oh yeah, so be on the lookout for a new generation coming down strong, filled with inspiration. Be on the lookout for a new generation. It's a new generation. Our generation used to care about us but now things are different. Change them we must. Fear and desperation, confusion is scaring us. It's time for direction, caring and trust. So be on the lookout for a new generation right now, coming down strong, filled with inspiration. Be on the lookout for a new generation. It's a new generation. Oh yeah. Well, freedom is the birthright for all women and men. But every generation has to win it again. Love and understanding, all covered with dust. It's time for direction, caring and trust. So be on the lookout for a new generation right now, coming down strong, filled with inspiration. Be on the lookout for a new generation. It's a new generation. Uh-huh. Oh yeah. See if that makes it on the charts. Yeah, another request for a Tom Paxton song, so I'll take you kind of way back into Greenwich Village in probably 1966. He was a man and a friend always. He stuck with me in my heart all day. He never cared if I had no dough. We'd ramble round the rain and snow. So here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your rambling bring you joy. Here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your rambling bring you joy. In Tulsa town, we chanced to stray. The man said he had to work all day. The boss said he had room for one. Said my old man, I'd rather bum. So here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your rambling bring you joy. Here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your rambling bring you joy. Late one night in a jungle camp, the winter air was cold and damp. The boss, he got the chills, he got them bad. He took the only friend I had. So here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your rambling bring you joy. Here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your rambling bring you joy. He left me here to ramble on. My rambling pal is dead and gone. If when we die, if we go somewhere, you know I bet you $1, he's rambling there. So here's to you, my rambling boy.
May all your rambling bring you joy. Here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your rambling bring you joy.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Hi, I'm Tom Mealy from Madhouse TV, and when I'm not at the studio, I'm here at the Harrison Law Group. This is my real job. And this January 2015, Brett and I are putting together a show called Legal Straight Talk. It'll be aired on Cablevision as well as here at Madhouse TV. You need to tune in. This information that we're going to be giving the public is the real deal. It's all about what you should do, what you shouldn't do. So tune in this January 2015 for a new episode of Legal Straight Talk.
Stretching under sedation or manipulation under anesthesia is a very gentle, very precise procedure to very slowly release any scar tissue that is formed as a result of a traumatic injury. Many people ask, how does this work? Will I get hurt? Will you stretch me too far? We only stretch the body part to its normal range of motion. After completing the post-MUA rehabilitation program, it's very common that our patients say to us, hey, I can play ball with my kid again. Hey, I can bowl again. Hey, I can enjoy hiking again. This is what makes it rewarding to us as practitioners.
was a seamstress for the band. Pretty eye, high red smile, she'll marry a music man. Ballerina, you must have seen her dancing in the sand. Now she's in me, always with me, tiny dancer in my head. Jesus freeze out in the street, handing tickets out for God. Just laughs. The boulevard is not that bad. Piano man, he makes a stand in the auditorium, looking on. She sings a song, the words she knows, the tune she hums. to sing her, and she was dancing in the sand. Now she's in me, always with me, tiny dancer in my head. And hold me closer, tiny dancer, and count the headlights on the highway, and lay me down in sheets of linen. You had a busy day today, and hold me closer, tiny dancer, and count the headlights on the highway, and lay me down in sheets of linen. You had a busy day today. If tomorrow all things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the